Hey, everybody. Welcome to Live with Les. Got a big night in store for you tonight. Got lots going on, that's for sure. And this is for sure. Anytime I have a show, I really need a producer to help me with stuff. Because I got a bunch of stuff going on. I promise you that. But I don't. And so old brother Les is going to be, just doing it all on his own, like he always does. But somehow we get through it. Now, more often than not, we have a big laugh about everything because, I'll drop some plates, they'll break, and, but that's okay. It'll be all right. Going to have fun. Lots of guests. We're going to have the quartet, Real Southern Gospel Quartet, will be joining us, all four of them for the majority of the show, and most of them for all the show. And this will probably be about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half program. So get ready for that. We're going to be playing a few songs from the new Real Southern Gospel Quartet album, Taking a Stand. And so that's going to be fun. And we're going to have a bunch of guests today. Let me see. We're going to have, in addition to the quartet, we're going to have Rodney Bauckham of the Life FM Network and the Gospel Greats. We're going to have Duane Allen of the Oak Ridge Quartet Boys. If anybody knows real quartet music, let me tell you, Duane Allen sure does. And we've got our buddy Jerry Edgil from Sheffield, Alabama, that's going to be with us. He's got a special connection to one of the songs that we're going to have on the show tonight. Matter of fact, the very first single for the Real Southern Gospel Quartet. Then we're going to have a couple of the writers. Ila Knight will be with us in a little bit, and the one and only Rebecca Peck. Boys and girls, the Rebecca Peck, Lord willing, would be with us a little bit later on tonight. Okay, so lots of music, lots of guests, lots of things to talk about, lots of things going on. So I'll be making phone calls. I'll be bringing people on and off the screen, trying to also host and so forth and get the music ready. Oh, this is going to be fun. Y'all pray for Brother Les. All right, here's a few things we do need to knock out real quick. As always, let me go over here and do this right here. We want to do this. We want to hit this. We want to thank our sponsor for Live with Les, sold by mkhome.com. Mary Catherine and Isaac, who works for me, a great real estate team. And if you're buying or selling anywhere in America, they can help you. They sure can. Anywhere in America. I'm not kidding. So you've got the number there. Call or text them, 615-788-1932, 615-788-1932, or go check out the website, soldbymkhome.com. We would appreciate you doing that, okay? All right. What else can we say? We got, here, I'll take that off now. Okay, we've got, coming up at the end of this month, the last Friday night of the month, the Friday Night Live Sing is going to be the Rex Nealon Singers from the 70s and the Kingsmen Big and Live from, I think, 1971, early 70s. And that'll be 7 Central, 8 Eastern, the last Friday night of this month. Kind of kicks off the National Quartet Convention Week. As a matter of fact, the rest of that night till midnight, there's going to be 5 hours of live music from the National Quartet Convention. So that's going to be fun. Then in October, it's going to be the Kingdom Heirs and Heaven Bound for our live Friday night concert. And then in November, it's going to be the Collingsworth family and somebody that, Dixie Melody Boys. I can't read my own writing. So that'll be the last Friday night in November. What else can we say before we start bringing folks on? In October. The first weekend of October, you know who is going to be our guest DJ on Real Southern Gospel Radio? Mike Payne. That Mike Payne. The Mike Payne you haven't seen and heard of in years. The Mike Payne that wrote It's Out of This World and Ready or Not, and he and Ronnie Hinson wrote the greatest line ever in a Southern gospel song. When they wrote on When He Was on the Cross, He knew me, yet He loved me. Whew. Wow. He's going to be our guest DJ the first weekend in October. So that is going to be Mike Payne. That's going to be fun. Let me tell you about a couple of events, and then we'll start getting some folks on here with us. Let's talk about, the last Friday night of this month, September 30th, Shaping Clay Jubilee, Manchester, Kentucky, Friday night. That Friday night is Real Southern Gospel Night. It's our first ever Real Southern Gospel event, and I'm stoked out of my mind. Folks, listen, you've got to figure out a way to get to Manchester, Kentucky. I mean, get a boat, by spaceship, I don't care. Get to Manchester, Kentucky on Friday, September 30th, because you're going to have a night filled with real Southern gospel music. You're going to have a night filled with real Southern gospel music. I'm talking about, for example, we're going to have the host group, Stephen's Family Tradition, incredible bluegrass gospel. I mean, just great, abnormally great, this kind of great. And then we're going to have the Williamsons. We're going to have Old Time Preachers. We're going to have the Primitive Quartet. And we're going to have a Spencer family reunion, boys and girls. I'm talking about straight ahead, right between the eyes, show enough real Southern gospel music in Manchester, Kentucky on Friday, September 30th. Then I want you to save this date, March 10th, 2023. The Primitive Quartet will be down to their last 3 weeks of touring, and they're going to come and work for their friend Les Butler in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm not kidding. Going to get you some details here very, very soon. I promise you that. So mark that down. Say the date, March 10th, 2023. Okay, do that. And let me see, what else can I tell you? Is that about all of the stuff that I can tell you about? I think it is. So what do you say we start bringing in some of the fellers? Let's see here. We will start with, let me do this. Let me get this out of the way. Let's start with the bass vocalization man. Right there is Darren Hebert. How you doing, Darren Hebert?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. I'm doing good, my friend. Let me get rid of this one little thing right here. You got your hat on. What's it say?
I am supporting my high school in Louisiana, Oak Grove Tigers.
Okay. Yeah, you've got to go in a little bit because you've got a are you like DJing or something? What are you, not DJing, but you're actually going to what's up?
Yeah, Donnie goes out of town and I turn into the DJ maestro.
Yeah, I could just see Donnie helping you out there.
Yeah.
No, you are an announcer or something, right?
Well, going to be helping with the with some of the broadcasts tonight for the football game. Local town here in Wetumpka.
All right. Well, hang tight. I'm going to bring a baritone in. Look at there. There's a baritone.
What's happening?
Terry Cart, look at you, Real Southern Gospel. Where's my mug at?
I'm prepared, brother.
You are repaired.
I'm repaired.
Hey,
I need to be repaired.
Hey, do me a favor there, Terry. Do me a favor.
Sir.
I'm going to take my little thing off here. Hey, reach back around there and get me a book out of your library.
I was fixing to ask how many.
Man, I don't know what, you know how I am about keys. I'll forget keys in a minute. But there's a glass. You can't see it, and they're locked up, and I just can't get to them. I lost my keys.
Well, there we got the baritone for the Real Southern Gospel Quartet. And like Darren, now Darren sings full-time with the Williamsons.
Right.
And Terry has his own quartet, the Port City Quartet.
That's right. Yes, sir.
But for this special recording, you, sir, are the baritone for the Real Southern Gospel Quartet. Yes.
And I'm in, brother.
And I'm going to get us a lead singer. Let's get a lead singer here. Hey, Tim May.
What's up? Hey, guys.
What's going on, man? Tim? What's happening, Darren?
Hey.
I was hoping Les would want you to get one of those books out of there, Terry.
Yeah. I told him, I am about losing my keys. I can't find them. And there's the glass. You can't see it. They're all locked up.
Okay.
Tim, I don't know
it sounds good anyway, right?
They're not real books because he can't read. But anyway,
I can reach back here and get a broom, guys.
Hey, you know what? I just noticed something. I don't know if I can get because I've never had this many people on before. I'm going to try to get our tenor on. If not, I'm going to have to flip and flop things around. Hey,
Well, there.
Right, there he is.
There's Jerry, tenor extraordinaire. Martin, what's happening, brother?
how are you, Jerry? Jerry, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Jerry Martin? I can't hear you, Jerry.
I see his mouth moving.
We've left him speechless.
Let me do this.
Unmute your mic.
Hey, Darren.
Yes,
Darren,
sir.
I'm going to boot you for a minute. Stay tuned. Hold on. Jerry, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay. We still can't hear Jerry. Jerry, we can't hear you, my brother.
Has he got his volume up on his computer?
Oh, no. Yeah, come back around. All right. Well, he's a great tenor. You just have to trust us.
The best.
Well, guys, let me tell you what. We're finally down, to the last few inches. We sent everything to mastering yesterday. If all goes well, we'll have it back on Tuesday. I'm going to finish up all of the graphic work tomorrow, and so, man, we're getting close to having something done. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Are you
Sounds
excited?
good, brother.
Awesome.
Are you
Looking forward to it.
Want to ask again? Are you excited about it?
I am thrilled.
I'm jumping up
I've
now.
got the mug, man. I'm ready to go.
You do. Let me see if okay, I got us a tenor. Now let me see if we can hear him. Jerry Martin, are you there? Still no Jerry. Okay, it's all right. But I tell you what we do have, because I just saw him jump on. We got us a Rodney Balcom. How you doing, Rodney?
I can sing tenor, guys.
You can?
Well, hey, Rodney.
Yeah, hey, guys.
Hey,
I know you can sing bass because we brought the old hairy-legged preacher boys in to do a bit with you at NQC, and we had Mike sing lead, our tenor sing tenor, I sang baritone, and Rodney Balcom nailed down the bass.
Well, it was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the real Southern Gospel Quartet right there.
Now, I would have loved to have heard that one, Rodney. I missed out on all the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
We either did just a little talk or When I Wake Up. Which one was it?
Oh, I don't remember. I've got a recording of that somewhere. That's what we need to post.
See, Les, keep me. He doesn't even remember. He doesn't really care.
Keep Darren. Hey, that could be you remember what they used to call a ghost track on a CD? That could be a ghost track, Rodney.
There you go. Get by some bus.
No. No bus, Rodney. You're officially fired. You were part of the group for 13 seconds. So whoever starts talking about a bus, they're immediately fired. Hey, have you ever sung in a group, sure enough, Rodney?
Yeah, my brother and I, we had a quartet out of First Baptist Church Indian Trail. We kind of put some guys together out of the choir, and we had a great time. We sang. We actually recorded a project, and I don't have a copy of it anywhere. But we recorded the project, but we never did the bus thing, so I'm thankful for that.
Did it go plywood?
Yeah, it didn't really go viral. It went bacterial.
Yeah.
I'll remember that one.
That's good. Well, listen, Rodney, thank you for having the quartet on with you earlier this week. Was it for Gospel Greats or Life FM or both, or what was it for? I don't even remember which one it was for.
Keeping it for both, as a matter of fact. We'll have it on. We're going to have the guys on as part of our quartet salute that's coming up. We always do an all quartets edition right before quartet convention, and so they'll be a part of that, and we'll carry some of that audio on the Gospel Greats that week. But we've been sharing some of it too with our Life FM audience. So great group of guys you got. I'm just thrilled to see them all, except for Terry Carter. I'm not real thrilled about Terry.
I know. Folks don't get thrilled about me anymore. I'm getting old now, Rodney. I'm aged, brother. I'm aged.
Oh, aren't we all? But you've assembled a great group of guys. I was really thrilled to see the whole group. I was, as we talked about in the interview, I was a little worried that the Williamsons were losing a great bass singer, but I hear that's not true.
No. But, not until my DJ career kicks off.
Just call me, Darren. We'll talk.
Rodney and I can confirm for you, you don't want to be a DJ. Well, Rodney, no kid, thank you for doing that. And I hope the audience gets to hear some of the stuff and gets to hear some of the music and is blessed by it. And what'd you think of the first single? Was that a good sound to you?
Oh yeah, I love the sound of the group you put together, and what a fantastic song that is, and what a message that still needs to be heard. It's just one of those that if you're looking for a safe Southern gospel song, boy, you put together a great lyric for that one. That song's been out for a long time, though, hasn't it?
Oh, it was a heaven-bound hit. Like, I don't know, Jerry Edgil will tell us here in a little bit, like 30 years ago or something like that. So, I mean, there's been a generation or two that's really never heard that song. And the thing about it is that I always heard it as a quartet song, and 30 or 40 years later, whatever it was, I got to do it as a quartet song, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm thrilled about the group that you put together, and I think God's got some big things. Even if it doesn't turn into a traveling group, I know people will be blessed by listening to it on the radio on Gospel Greats, and just maybe getting the project and putting their headphones in and listening.
Well, tell folks where they can hear all things connected to Rodney Ball.
Well, we do have radio stations that are based out of Anderson, South Carolina, called the Life FM, and we've got affiliate stations in Tennessee and Indiana and Georgia and Alabama and North Carolina and several other states. And so if you're one of those areas that we cover, we hope that you're one of our regular listeners. But also on the app, the Life FM has an app that you can enjoy for free. Just go to the App Store for your Android or Apple device, and you can download it. And is it okay to put in that kind of plug? You asked, didn't you, Les?
Yeah, sure, please.
But yeah, we'd love to have you. My daughter and I actually do the morning show together. We call it the Family and Friends Morning Show, and we have a great time. She's 23. Her name is Reagan, and she does a great job with me. And throughout the day, just some great gospel music, 24/7.
Good. You always do great work, Rodney. God bless you, and thank you. I know
we appreciate what you're doing, Rodney.
Well, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you in a couple weeks.
What did you say, Darren?
I said we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, in QC.
Boy, I'm not sure if that's actually Darren or if it's just JD Sumner zipped up in a Darren suit.
Trust me, it's Darren.
Need to go to bed, Mr. Rodney.
That's right. I got to get up at 4. Good night, guys.
All right. Good night, Rodney. Buddy. Bye-bye. Well, let's see if we can finally get a tenor here. Do we have us a tenor?
Hello.
Hey,
well, hey, buddy.
Hey, that's a tenor. Hey, Jerry Martin, are you doing all right, buddy?
I'm doing great, Liz. How you guys doing?
Well, I tell you what's funny. You're of everybody that's on the screen right now, you're the only one that did a test, and you're the only one we couldn't.
I know. Technology is crazy, and I didn't do anything after we left and talked earlier. Do nothing except come back to it, and I was like, "What in the world?" So
what's going on? Well, I'm glad you're back with us.
Me too.
I tell you what, fellas, I'm going to play one of the songs right now.
Okay.
I'm going to play one of the songs.
Sounds good.
It is, boy, you talking about Southern Gospel 101 as it gets. There's a young man, I believe he lives in Alabama. His name is Duane Allen. And he's got a buddy, Nathan Lane, that lives in West Virginia. These guys write traditional convention-style Southern Gospel music. And we did Blessed Heaven's Jubilee that was written by Dylan.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I think it turned out really, really well. This is just 4-part, just quartet. I mean, straight out of the gate. something that I think you would have heard anywhere from like Blackwood Brothers to the Cathedrals do. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Great
Yes,
song.
Yeah.
Play it. And I think Dylan is listening tonight. Matter of fact, I want to go over to the comments. We'll get some of these comments in just a little bit. But let's see if I've got this going here. It's called Blessed Heavens Jubilee, the Real Southern Gospel Quartet, right here on Live with Les. We got a bunch of guests coming up. It's going to be a big night. Hit the share button. Make sure everybody's listening. Enjoy Real Southern Quartet music right here.
There's a day that's quickly coming, and the signs are clear to see. For that day, my soul is longing. Blessed heavens jubilee.
What a day of celebration. Up in heaven it will be.
For that day, my soul is longing to see. Blessed heavens jubilee. No more pain or earthly sorrow in that land beyond the sea. How I long for that tomorrow when I join the Jubilee.
What a day of celebration. Up in heaven it will be.
For that day, my soul is longing to see. Blessed heavens jubilee.
What a
day of celebration.
Up in heaven
it will be. For that day, my soul is longing to see. Blessed heavens jubilee. For that day, my soul is longing to see. Blessed heavens jubilee.
Well, what about it, boys?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's a good old convention song.
Dylan and well, look at that. It's so good it wants to play 13 times right here. Hold on a minute.
I'm sure that's fine with Mr. Dylan.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a bunch of folks that's wanting to say some things here. Let me just jump in here. Hello, Daryl Sheely from Central Florida. Patty Graham, good to see you. From Ohio, David Williams, good to see you. Billy Carr, good to see you, brother. Ila Knight. Oh, we're going to have Ila Knight on with us a little bit later in the hour, and she wrote her A Dandy Quartet song that you all nailed down. Isaac Hughes, of course, my buddy there that works with us at Real Southern Gospel Radio. Terry Willits, Lori Price, Ricky Bagwell, and let me see, Terry, Rex Neal and Greatness. Yeah, I agree with that, man. Linda, good to see you. Hope Sisters, good to see you all. What a wonderful family. Dickie Reynolds. Hey, you probably know Tim Perry there, don't you, Terry?
Absolutely. He's my buddy. He's a bass singer now.
He's a bass singing machine too. You know, there's some great bass singers in Southern gospel music.
There really is. And, you know, Tim worked in the insurance business for 32 years and just sang with regional groups. And he said it was always his dream to sing with the Anchorman. And he just never got the opportunity because of his work schedule. And then when I put Port City together, I had Will Lane originally for about a year and a half. And then when Will left, I needed a bass singer, and he came to fill in. Well, the fill-in situation ended up being a permanent position, and we are honored to have Tim Perry, one of the finest Christian gentlemen I've ever met in my life, and I mean that. Just a jewel, brother.
I can't wait to meet him. I can't wait to meet him. I'm gonna meet him one day soon, I hope.
Got a humble spirit, really loves the Lord, and he's about ministry. He really is.
Yeah. Mary Riggin, good to see you. Dylan Fiesel,
Mary.
He's excited. Let me see if he said something after we played the song. Let's see if he's still excited. Pema Jackson, good to see you. Hank Edwards, good evening. Good evening. Thank you, Hank. Hank added our new compilation, which has our song, our first single on it. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
Mike Smith, Mike Keller, our buddy Mike Keller. Good to see you. Nathan Lane. There's the other one. You got Brother Fiesel and you got Nathan Lane that writes traditional convention style music as good as I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
I'm excited about recording their music. Dylan's from Coleman, Alabama. Hello, Carissa from Addison, Alabama. Rick Overton, good to see you. Mike Smith, yeah, good to see you. Let me see. Madeline Fiesel, sounds amazing. Good. We've made one of the writers in the family happy with our song.
Awesome.
Dot Morell, Dylan says thanks, guys. So thank you, Dylan, for letting us have some of your music.
Great stuff.
Duane Allen, sounding like all day singing with dinner on the ground, he said.
You ought to know.
To that end, I'm going to call Duane right now.
I tell you, not a better lead singer in the world than Duane Allen.
I'm going to call him right now.
With dinner on the ground, he said.
You ought to know.
Oh,
Duane, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
So you want us to go get you some fried chicken, do you?
I'm ready.
Dinner on the ground.
Let me turn you off of the TV part because I'm watching you on the computer.
Yeah.
You guys have way too much fun.
Well, we try. Well, Duane, thank you for spending some time with us today. So I don't know if you just heard that traditional convention song. If you did, I'm almost nervous to ask, but I'm going to ask anyway. Did it sound okay?
Well, I wrote down what it made me, it reminded me of going to those all-day singings with dinner on the ground back in Texas. That's how I grew up, going to those convention-type singings, man, with Stamps and Stamps Baxter songbooks. And you could, if you had both songbooks, you could get you a machine and actually staple one of them to the back side, the back book page of one of them, turn the other book upside down, and just over when you sing from the other book.
Yeah.
And, have you ever do that?
I've got to admit, I have never done that. I thought I'd done about everything, but you got one on me right there.
Well, Stamps and Stamps Baxter both had out convention books. And they would come out about every 6 months, I guess. And the group I was in, the Southern Airs Quartet out of Paris, Texas, that's where we sang. We sang in churches and basically in convention singing.
Yeah.
And that's where I met a guy named Larry Gatlin. The Gatlin family were at singing in New Boston when other acts were singing. Larry and I went out under the big oak tree where we had previously had lunch outside with dinner on the ground, and we both dreamed of someday being in a group and moving to Nashville and singing full time.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we both were able to see our dreams come true, and we're still good friends.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Wonderful. We've got friends that are watching right now, and they're saying hey to you. Do you know a John Herndon?
John Herndon, I know him well.
Yep.
He's one of the best writers that you'll ever read. A word that I'm telling you, when he writes, he just grabs you in and you put you right there, and it makes you feel like you are watching whoever he's writing about. And he's one of the best writers I've ever talked with.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's written a couple stories on my group as well, and like you said, makes you feel like you're right there. Well,
I know those guys got there too, man. You got some kind of awesome bass singer. Darren is something else, man.
Lord, Duane, I wish you hadn't have said that.
Can I get a copy of this?
Give him a raise or tell the Williams they're going to have to raise or something.
Duane, it's been good having you on the show today.
I love it. Mr. Allen,
Darren won't sleep tonight, buddy.
Darren quite as well. But Tim and Darren, man, you got some talent there.
Yeah.
And your sound, man, that's pure singing.
Yeah. Thank you. Man, hey boy, are you hearing this? That's
an honor, Mr. Allen.
Duane Allen, the man knows what he's talking about.
He does.
Well, Duane, I recorded in your studio in 1974, 75, Superior. I was with a group out of North Carolina called the Samaritans, Michael English, Bonnie English, myself, and their father. And we recorded 3 albums with you guys. And I'll never forget this. Joe was our producer on one of the records we did right there at Superior. And that's when you guys were still touring as a gospel group, before you went into country act. But I'm telling you, man, you're still singing great. You've always been one of my favorite lead singers, and I admire what you do, and my hat's off to you, brother.
Man, I appreciate that.
He's a hero.
I just like to try to do it right every night, and the biggest competition I've got is what did I do last night? I want to do it better tonight.
Well said. Yeah.
I've always said Duane is smooth as silk, and you are great singer.
Power, range, the whole deal.
Oh yeah.
Well, I remember all of those days when you guys were coming in and recording. There was so many young groups and young acts that came to Superior and recorded and are now in major acts all across the country, like Michael English.
Yeah, he was just when we started cutting there. I think Duane, he was. We started singing. He was 11. I think he maybe was 13 or 14 when we started cutting with your studio there, and your band played on our recording. I remember that. Garland Craft was keyboard player, and we did that song "Jesus Is Mine." And I just celebrated 50 years, so I put it on a compilation disc. And that was the cut we did at your studio, "Jesus Is Mine" at Superior, when we were all teenagers, back in the day. A lot of great memories.
Yeah, Ricky Skaggs owns that studio now.
Is that right? I did not know that.
Yeah, Ricky bought it from me and has kept it going. And we made a lot of memories in that studio. In fact, my daughter's family group has named their group Rockland Road, which is the name of their road that runs right in front of that studio.
Yeah,
I remember that. How about that? That's fantastic.
Boy, Duane, you have a talented family. That family band is absolutely spellbinding.
Well, thank you very much. They work really hard on building up something special. They all play, and they all play a bunch of different instruments. I don't know how they can play all of those instruments. They've just got a lot of talent in their family.
Yeah.
And they're out right now. They're out for a week right now. They'll be back home for a couple of days, and then they're back out for another week.
Wow.
They're working just like we work.
That's great. Duane, are you to where you can still see TV?
Oh yeah, I'm watching you. I've got the volume turned down, but I can see who's
Okay. I'm going to put a picture up from 1999, I think. So this would be what, 23 years ago? Here it is. Look at there.
Wow. I see
There
a Les
you are.
Butler
There's
in the midst
Richard.
of
There's
all that.
me. There's William Lee. And there's Joe.
I don't see the picture.
Okay. Well, it's back in the Solid Gospel Radio Network studios from.
Yes, I see it.
Yeah.
There we.
Look at that.
We were one.
That was a night where you all were leaving to go, I think, to Branson, and I needed to do an interview with you because you, the record label, had hired me to do a bunch of marketing and promotion for you on the gospel on a gospel album, and the only time you could do the interview was meeting me at our studio at 1 a.m. So I got there, met you. We did the interview. We went out in the hallway, and Joe and I started talking about songs and Oak Ridge Boys, and me being just a big fan. And he said, "What part are you singing?" I said, "Baritone." And he said, "You don't know our stuff." I said, "Try me." And we sat there and stood there in the hall and sang for about 45 minutes. And he kept bringing up songs that were album cuts that if you didn't have the album, you never heard it on the radio. And I sang every word of the thing, and I became an official Acorn that night, and I'm pumped about that.
Oh,
that's
great! That then showed up at our fanfare party, and you actually came on stage and sang with us.
Yes,
and that was great. Our fans loved it.
I want to say one more thing, and then I'm going to let you get back to your family and your night. But going back to that night. About a week after that happened, there was a knock on my front door, and there was a box. Somebody delivered a box, and we opened it up, and it was an autographed picture of the Oak Ridge Boys. There was a picture of me singing with the Oak Ridge Boys, and it was presented, professionally, top-notch stuff, and that came from you all in your office. And I just want to say, you talk about a top-notch, well-run, well-oiled music machine. It is the Oak Ridge Boys, and you all are top-notch, and thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some wonderful people. A lot of the people that work in our office and work with us. I know we were having a meeting today with the mayor and the Chamber of Commerce in Hendersonville, and we're talking about some future things that we're going to do here with the city. And they asked Kathy Harris how long she had been with us, and she said 49 years. And
wow.
John here has been with us 49 years too. And we just had one of our girls retired last Christmas who had been with us over 50 years. And another girl had retired for that, been with us 50 years. So
wow.
The people that work with us, they know what we love, and they know what the Oak Ridge Boys are all about. They have helped us build what is the Oak Ridge Boys, and they know how we think, and they know what it takes to do things right. We just try to do things right, and always keep your word, tell the truth, and always be on time, and always keep your dates. Don't screw up. Don't miss your dates and really mess somebody up that's promoting a date by missing the date. Always be there on time. Show up and do the best you can every show, every time you go on stage. And I tell our people, look, if when you get off stage, you feel like going out and running around and hanging out all the rest of the night and whatever, you didn't leave enough of yourself on stage. I want you to be wiped out.
I love that.
That is great.
And when you get on stage, I want to see you collapse in a recliner chair and hunt for something cold to drink. Wipe off your sweat with a towel.
Yeah.
And rest 30 minutes. Because if you don't need to do that, you haven't left enough of yourself on stage.
Wow.
Leave everything you've got, because
I love
that's what we do.
Duane Allen is teaching a master class here on
Wow.
Live Yes. I love
Well
it.
said, brother.
Duane,
Well,
one more. Go ahead, Duane. I'm sorry.
We'll go out front and they'll stay out there for an hour and a half and sign autographs. Where do you get that energy? I don't have that energy when I give everything I've got on stage. I just don't have it. I might have had it when I was a younger man, but at my age now, I have to give everything I've got on every note I give 110%. When I get through with the show, there's not anything left. I go to my bus, which has to be air, and so cold you can just almost hang meat in it. And
I like that.
air check thing easy to live in, and wipe off the sweat, get some cold water or iced tea to drink,
Yeah.
get in my recliner chair and settle down.
Yeah.
And I don't leave anything when I get through with a concert. It's over. You know, that's it.
Wow. Master class, Duane Allen. Duane, real quick, I sent you a song earlier this week that I thought reminded me of the Oak Ridge Boys. It's called Put Something Back. Did you get a chance to listen to it?
I haven't yet, no, but I did get it.
Okay.
And I will listen as soon as I start listening for this next album, because we're going to cut a new album after the first of the year, and I'll start looking for songs. Well, I'm already started. I just haven't. They're coming in already, but I haven't really set a time. Because what I do is I put all of the song into a stack, and I sit down on my couch in my den, and I have 3 stacks. The first stack is when I've listened to a song, if I put it into the first stack, that's songs, that's a CD that has a song on it, and I'll circle a song that I like. And if I want to keep that song, I'll put it back into that stack. If the second stack has something about that song that I want to hear again, well, I'll go back to that second stack in about 2 weeks. And if I can remember what that was when I see that circle around that song, I'll listen to it again. If I can't remember it, it goes into the third stack. The third stack are songs that I don't listen to again.
Gotcha.
But the first and the second stacks. And I go through about 1,000 songs for every album that we record.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Duane, thank you for your time, buddy. You've been a blessing to a bunch of folks for a long time, and you're top notch, and your organization is. And tell Joe and William, Lee, and Richard that Les and these boys here said hello.
Well, it's great to hear what you guys are talking about. I'm very, very happy to see you guys recording songs that sound like you're singing them right out of the songbook. I was raised like that. My mom and daddy taught me shape note music before I ever went to college and learned classical music and got a degree in it from Metropolitan Opera Stars, I might add.
Wow.
And before I ever learned anything about classical music, I learned how to sing by shape notes.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad taught me that. And you guys sound like you could pick up a book and sing some shape note music. And even if you can't sing the shape notes, you still sing the parts exactly right.
Yeah.
And I love the kind of singing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Duane.
Duane, blessing, brother. Have a great day.
God bless you all, man. I love all the singing that you guys are doing. It is real quartet singing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you, brother.
Duane Allen of the Oak Ridge Boys. And he ended with that is real quartet singing. You know how happy it makes me to hear somebody like a Duane Allen say that of our
Yes,
work
sir.
together.
Love it.
Well, I got Jerry. Whoops. Now, Jerry Edgil, where'd you go? He's been waiting for 40 minutes. Let me try to get him on here.
Shower and go back to bed.
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry,
That was really interesting. Who was it?
it was Duane Allen of the.
I'm kidding. I know.
You've heard the name, right?
I know a bunch of the guys. You got Tim Mays over there somewhere.
Now listen, Jerry, tell about Tim. You all traveled together some, didn't you?
Tim?
Singing Ambassadors.
Oh, yeah. Well, now, I think Tim was after me. Not that I'm older. It's just timing. But yeah, I know Tim. He's really good. I mean, he's a good guy too. Yeah,
he is.
Thank you, Jerry.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, Jerry, how long have you been in Southern Gospel Radio?
1979, if you can. And this is what 2022. That long, yeah.
Jerry, you were real good to the anchorman back in the day, buddy.
Listen, I remember you guys, and y'all were good, and yes, I love to play your music. Yes,
it's so good to see you again, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
I am. I'm still in radio and still enjoy it. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in it. But it's a great work. Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Well, Jerry, I sent you our first single and you heard it and came back to me and said that you thought the boys did pretty good with that Heaven Bound song.
Yes, I did. We used to promote Heaven Bound all the time back in the 70s and the 80s. And we really enjoyed, the people here enjoyed their music. And man, when they come up on the stage, Jeff picked up that guitar and the guys got their mics, and I mean, it was on when that happened.
It was really on
sir.
when Jeff Gibson would start singing and play the bass with one hand and then wave with
and preach a little too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, were you part of their? They did this on a live album there with you. Weren't you there that night that they did the Heaven Bound live album?
Right. Yes. And we had a great singing that night, and the guys, they put Jeff and all the boys, and they put their heart in it, and there's just no way that people couldn't get a blessing that night.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, tell folks where they can listen to you on the radio. Give all that information because I want them to listen to you.
Okay. Well, we're on 106.3 FM. And I'm on every morning. I go in at dark and I come out in daylight. So that's that's how I do. And I mean, I enjoy it. I really do. Of course, I got rich while I've been doing it too. But and anybody that works in radio knows that I am not serious. You know.
Oh,
it is. It's fun. It's like having your own record party, you know.
And
I love it. And Duane was talking about the Oak Ridge Boys and Gospel. See, the station that I'm at, before it was gospel in 1978. Before it was gospel, it was country. And so we had all the Oak Ridge Boys. I mean, I go back, Smitty Gatlin, they're all in there, you know.
Yeah.
And so I still get to play them. I heard him talking earlier, and I don't know if he's still listening, but I still play the Oak Ridge Boys, gospel music. Yes.
Well, they're fantastic, and they still know how to sing quartet music. That's for sure. Well, Jerry, I wanted to bring you on because you tie into Jeff Gibson and you promoted Heaven Bound. You were a part of the live record that had this first cut on it. And I tell you what I want you to do. Pretend like you're back on the radio right now and introduce a different way, not by Heaven Bound, but by the Real Southern Gospel Quartet, and I'm going to play it. Go ahead and introduce it.
All right. Thank you so much. Heaven Bound, a different way. The idea for
not
this
Heaven
song,
Bound. No, we don't want Heaven Bound. We want the Real Southern Gospel Quartet.
Oh, well, I mean, they were the ones that I was introducing that night. You told me to do that. I think it's very interesting. Jeff can correct me if I'm wrong, but it appears that these guys were doing some Christmas albums, and I know that looked like the jacket that they had on the cover, and so they was doing this song a different way, and talking about the wise men who came to Jesus.
Yeah.
And when they got there, they realized what was going on. I mean, Dirty Herod was not going to let this thing work out, but he couldn't stop it. And when the guys left, they left different.
They
went a different way. When a person comes to Jesus,
amen,
he don't leave the same. He leaves a different way.
Here it is. Real Southern Gospel Quartet with a different way. Thank you, Jerry Edgil. God bless you, brother.
Now the wise men went a-seeking, for the Savior had been born, and they knew that old King Herod was out to take away our Lord. When they found the baby Jesus knelt beside him in the hay, then they left a different way, a different way, a different way. Come to Jesus and you'll leave a different way. No matter what road you may be walking, come to Jesus today and you'll leave a different way. From a babe born in a manger to the man of Galilee, healed the sick and saved the sinner and set the captive free. So no matter where you're headed, come to Jesus today and you'll leave a different way, a different way, a different way. Come to Jesus and you'll leave a different way. No matter what road you may be walking, come to Jesus today and you'll leave a different way, a different way, a different way. Come to Jesus and you'll leave a different way. No matter what road you may be walking, come to Jesus today and you'll leave a different way. No matter what road you may be walking, come to Jesus today and you'll leave. I know you'll leave. Oh yes, you'll leave a different way.
Tenor alert.
A different way, a different way. Come to Jesus and you'll leave a different way. No matter what road you may be walking, come to Jesus today and you'll leave a different way. No matter what road you may be walking, come to Jesus today and you'll leave. I know you'll leave. Oh yes, you'll leave a different way.
I got one thing to say right there. Anybody doesn't like that, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
We don't stand a chance in any kind of relationship at all. That right there, boys and girls, come on now. That's powerful stuff. Powerful lyric, powerful singing. Real Southern Gospel Quartet. I just want to do this for y'all right there. That's great singing, fellas. Well done.
Thank you. I had a ball doing that song.
It was such an honor to be just a part of this, guys. And I want to publicly say I love each and every one of you. And again, Les, thank you for including me in this group. I mean that very, very sincerely.
Honor to have the whole team. Darren had to leave because he had to go DJ a dance or something. No.
They can't be a Baptist then.
He's doing a baseball game, and so he had to go call a baseball game. But I tell you what, I've got Ila Knight next, and then I got Rebecca. Now, gals, we're running a few minutes late. You know how it is when you do live stuff, so it's the way it is. So hang out there. But I do want to take 2 minutes and let Jeff Gibson tell you about a story that ties into this song a different way. Just to prove the power of this song, you simply got to hear this story. So here's Jeff Gibson talking about A Different Way.
Stories on the road, or when God shows up, when the Lord moves and folks are saved or delivered or set free. They're such amazing stories. One gentleman came to me one night and he said, "Brother Jeff, can I talk with you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I love to hear y'all." And we were down in Florida. And I said, "Well, I appreciate that." And he started to cry. And I said, "Brother, what's wrong?" He said, "I've only known the Lord for a short while." He said, "I recently lost my wife, lost one of my children." And he said, "Life is just wasn't worth living anymore." And he said, "I decided it was time for me to take my life." He said, "So I got in my truck and I pulled down the road in the edge of the woods and I had a gun." He said, "And I decided just to end it all." And he said he had never listened to gospel music, didn't pay any attention to it. He said, "And I just turned the radio on just to kind of cover the noise of the gun." He said, "And a group called Heaven Bound came on and y'all were singing a song called A Different Way." He said, "I don't even know how it got on the gospel station." He said, "But I sat there and said, you know what, I don't have to listen to this." So he punched it and changed it to another station. He said, on the next station, we were singing A Different Way. And he said, "Brother Jeff, this happened 3 times. And folks, you got to understand, I had a lady come to me one time with a story very similar to this, but it was about the song When Jesus Passed By. And I thought, my Lord, you never know how God's going to move. But that brother looked at me and he said, after the third one, something moved in me. And he said, I got out of my truck and got on my knees. He said, and I gave my heart to the Lord. He said, and I went a different way. And he said, now God is moving a different way in my life. And I'm a child of God. And you don't know what that did to me. It lit my fire. We were ready to sing that night. And it was just amazing.
Wow.
Praise the Lord.
Is that powerful or what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
If we ever do it for any other reason than what you just heard right there, please just hang up the microphone and go do something else.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's about that.
What a testimony.
It also goes to show the power of radio, because when you're sitting there as a radio DJ, Les, you don't know how that song's touching somebody.
So true. So true, brother. Amen. Well, I tell you what, before we bring Ila Knight on, let me tell you that, because I should have been talking about this all night, but I'm the world's worst at the really the pitches and asking for money. I'm the world's worst. But we are pre-selling the CD, and we've got a thumb drive. All that's being pre-sold. And if you want to go to realsoutherngospel.com, CDs are 15, thumb drives 20, or you get them both for 30. So you can give this to a friend, keep one for yourself, give one to a friend. And I would suggest give it to a lost friend, because we've got some songs that'll just life and get it to them. Okay. And any order's got 3 extra free CDs that I'm going to put into the package and make it a big old deal. And so if you go to realsoutherngospel.com or to familymusicgroup.com, on the main page, you'll see the special package, and just click on it and start buying away. We appreciate that. Okay. All right. Now, here we go. Ila Knight.
Hello.
Are you here?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm great. And you all are sounding great too. It's really exciting to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you, Miss. You know how to, we just had Duane Allen on, who knows how to sing a quartet song. Ila Knight knows how to write a quartet song.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Love your writing, Miss Ila. Love it.
Thank you.
Well, we recorded one of your songs, Miss Ila. Have you had a chance to listen to it yet?
Oh, I've worn it out.
Okay.
I've had it in my thing I put in my pocket, and the things in my ears, and walked around and did my canning with that in my ear. It really gave me a lot of get up and go for this old lady.
Oh, we've got an album that'll help people can. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, just tell the folks a little bit about who you are, and tell some of the groups that have recorded your songs.
Oh my goodness. I go back so far, Les, that they wouldn't even know who some of them were, I guess. But I've been at it in gospel music for about 70 years. I was traveling when I was 15 around with a group called the Kings who had not at that time gone professional. And Ray Dean Reese was coming courting. Mother and Daddy wouldn't let me go anywhere. They made him sit in the living room, but he was coming out to see me. But I went to all, the singing schools, learned to shape notes. The Kingsmen, the Blackwood Brothers, the Florida Boys. I can't even think of all of them. So many, the Hopper Brothers and Connie, all of these people have recorded my songs. And you think I'm ever so grateful to the Lord for where he has led me. I wrote my first one 52 years ago, January of 1970. And I never dreamed I'd even live this long, much less that the Lord would do what all he's done for me. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to you guys too, for singing my song. And to Les, my goodness, it's just, y'all are a blessing to me.
Thank you.
Our privilege, Miss Ila.
Have you all sung any of her songs throughout the years? Jerry, I know the Kingsmen did a bunch of Ila songs.
Yeah. And in fact, this song here, I've always wanted to record this particular song. I've always thought it was one of the best quartet traditional songs, and I finally get to do it. So it's a thrill for me to even be able to record it finally after all these years.
Jerry, you never told me that. I had no idea, man. That's a cool story right there.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Well, thank you so much. This one that y'all have recorded has never been out by a professional group, only by a local group. And it's in one of my songbooks. And boy, it is a good song. And I'm so glad to hear somebody sing it. And I love that bass singer, my goodness. And I believe that bass singer might have been in some background vocals on I'll Live Again, on a track we did recently.
Yes, that is him, as a matter of fact. You're right. You've got a good ear, Miss Ila. Good ear. Very good. Well, so the song I'm going to play here that we recorded was recorded by a part-time group and not a professional group. Well, Ila, it still hasn't been recorded by a professional group, but we're glad we got a chance to do it.
We're having fun. We're having fun with what we're doing, right?
I'm a country girl. You can ask the Inspirations and the Kingsmen. They like to come here and eat and sing too. All of them do. And
I saw a picture the other day.
Huh?
I saw a picture the other day with the Inspirations at your place eating. That looked good.
What's your address, Miss Ila? I love this.
It's in my book. The Inspirations are coming now, learning new songs. And see, I'm right now approaching 80 years old.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
I'm telling you right now, I've sort of been renewed by getting some of these songs out. Again, it's really a blessing. And who knows, the Lord may take me tomorrow, but if he does, you'll know where I'm going, that I'm living again. Amen. And that I've been saved by the grace of God.
Tell it, Miss Ila. I love it. Amen. Well, we sure, I know I've been on the radio for 44 years, and I can't tell you how many times I have played an Ila Knight song. Wow. Thank you for your years and decades of music and service to the Lord. And fellas, have you ever heard her sing? I want to touch on this for a second.
I've heard about her singing, and I heard it was great.
Here's the phrase that comes to mind when she sings, and I mean this in the best way. She'll part your hair.
I love it.
Miss Ila, we love you, appreciate you, and I'll let you get back to your night. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the song that you wrote and that we recorded.
Yes.
Oh, bless your heart.
Amen.
Thank you, and God bless all of you.
All right, Miss Ila.
Thank
God
you. Bless you.
God bless you, Miss Ila.
Ila Knight. All right, are you ready? All right, so it's When the Lord Saved Me. Here we go. This is Southern Gospel Quartet music.
I was out in sin's darkness, far away from the fold, when the good shepherd came seeking those who wandered alone. He reached down and he touched me, lifted me in his arms. Then he set my feet upon the rock of ages, never more to depart. When the Lord saved me I can feel the Holy Spirit moving in my soul. When the Lord saved me, I got an old-fashioned dose of the Holy Ghost. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet, I knew the very minute I had been redeemed. When the Lord saved me, He made a brand new creature out of me. Ever since the Lord saved me, washed me white as the snow, through His mercy and pardon, I am happy and whole. I am walking a new road. He is leading me on. When the Lord saved me, put a brand new feeling way down deep in my soul. When the Lord saved me, I can feel the Holy Spirit moving in my soul. When the Lord saved me, I got an old-fashioned dose of the Holy Ghost. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet, I knew the very minute I had been redeemed. When the Lord saved me, He made a brand new creature out of me. When the Lord saved me, I could feel the Holy Spirit moving in my soul. When the Lord saved me, I got an old-fashioned dose of the Holy Ghost. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet, I knew the very minute I had been redeemed. When the Lord saved me, He made a brand new creature out of me.
What about it, fellas?
Yeah.
I like it.
So, Jerry, you always wanted to record that. You never told me that story.
Yeah, gosh, I've heard through demos throughout the years, and I love that song. It's just such a good traditional quartet feeling song. And finally, with you guys, I finally got to do that. So
I also wanted to sing in a group with you, Jerry, and I had to get hired by Les for that to happen. He turned me down 20 years ago, man. 25 years ago.
Smart move, Jerry. Oh, anyway.
Now, Les.
You should have offered him more money.
Yeah, more money. More money.
Yeah.
All right.
It was probably a lot more money.
I'm going to bring in one of my favorite people in our industry, period. No exclamation mark. So here we are. Rebecca, are you there?
I'm here. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello, Rebecca Peck.
Hello.
Rebecca, you're just special. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you and Tom so much. You really don't know. I try to communicate it every time we're together and I talk to you, but you just would really have to see deep in my heart. You are a blessing.
Well, we feel the same way about you, and your contributions to this industry are just immeasurable. And now with this quartet, wow, this is unreal. You sent me the some of the songs, emailed them to me, and it's like, how many times can you listen to the same song? This is a great mix, great group of guys. Wow, what a combination.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fellas, listen. You need to listen to what she's saying, because she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, premier writer right there.
She certainly is.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Appreciate that.
Well, so we recorded a couple of your songs, and one is certainly, is very traditional, and the other one is not that it's not traditional. I have the hardest time explaining to people about the song Barabbas. It's just so unique and different.
Love it.
It's not traditional, but it's certainly not contemporary. Especially the way we did it.
Right.
I produced it with a what's called a bouzouki, which is a baritone mandolin and a fiddle and strings and no loops and no distorted guitars, all that. Really traditional Southern gospel instrumentation, but the song is in a minor key. That makes it different.
It is. There was a song, I don't know if you remember, back in the 70s. Hey, Jerry, you just came back up on my screen.
Yes. Hey.
There was a group in the 70s that recorded for Mark V, the Sheltons.
Yeah.
And of course, they're still singing.
Junior Shelton.
Yes, Junior's, he and Sandra, and they're just great, great people. But on one of their albums, actually my favorite Sheltons record was called Gospel and Guitars. And they had a song on there called Gethsemane. I don't know if y'all have ever heard that.
I remember that. I sure do.
But it was like that. It was in a minor key, but traditional as could be. But that song always captivated me just because it was different. And so when I was writing this song about Barabbas, I mean, it's not, you can't write it real happy sounding, right? So, so the minor key kind of just slipped its way in there.
Well,
Great
and like
job.
It fit the vibe and the feel and the lyric of that song. And I'm telling you, when I first heard you sent it to me because I was asking for bluegrass stuff, because I'm getting ready to produce Bama Bluegrass, and we've had great success together with Bama Bluegrass, #1 song, all that kind of business. And you sent that, and when I heard it, it's not that I didn't hear a bluegrass version, but I'm telling you, it just hit me straight up with the instrumentation and orchestra string stuff, so I called you and I said, Rebecca, would you really get mad if I didn't do it bluegrass? You were okay with it.
I was okay with it. And Les, you're one of the few people that can hear a work audio and be okay with it and be able to hear what the writer is intending. So many times people can't hear that, and they have to have a fully produced demo, which of course we do. We try our best to do very good quality demos. We work really hard at it. My husband, Tom, and son Logan are very good at making sure that gets done right. But I'm able to send you just right off the press. I write it and send it. And of course I sent that with a piano. So it's hard for me to say, hey, this is a bluegrass song, but I'm playing it on the piano.
Yeah.
So I am thrilled with the way it came out. When I first heard that first verse, I thought, okay, let's call this one.
Wow. That makes me feel happy to hear you say that. And then, of course, we also did Blessed Assurance in the Blood. And
what a song.
Yeah.
Well, the story on that one, my son Logan, he's our second son. He's a very talented guy. I usually say talented kid, but he's 30 and his wife have 4 kids. So it's hard for me to say kid anymore. But we write together quite a bit. And he came in one day, we were writing, and you kind of go back and forth. Okay, do you have any ideas? And of course, writers have stacks and stacks of stuff. And so he said, well, I've been working on this little verse. And I said, okay, well, let me hear it. He played it. And I said, I think that verse would go perfectly with this little chorus that I've been working on. And sure enough, they just married right together. And we sat and finished the song together. But the Lord just had those 2 pieces and put them together. And that's amazing when that happens. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I'm glad it happened this time, and I'm glad they got it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And, I don't know for sure, Rebecca, but I mean, I think both of those songs I'll send those to radio singles. They're just too good to do.
Awesome. And you didn't want to plug. Now I was just sitting here and heard you say something about, well, you don't like to. Can I do that? Can I just say, everybody go buy this record? Can I do that for you? And just
Please do.
Please
do it.
No problem with that.
I'm begging you to say that.
Okay.
Well, thank you. And by the way, if they do want to go, they can go to realsoutherngospel.com and familymusicgroup.com and get it right there. And there's discounts and all kinds of free stuff and whatnot. And thank you for bringing that up, Rebecca. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, I want to play one of the 2 songs. And, you know what? Let's go back to Barabbas for a second. Where did that idea come from? I mean, you talked about, when you were writing it, and when you write about Barabbas, it's not a happy thing. So that's where the minor key and all that. But I mean, what hit you to write about Barabbas?
I was actually reading my Bible in the morning, my
Imagine that.
Yeah. And, I got to that passage, and what struck me was it was talking about how the chief priest stirred up the crowd, and they got those people in a frenzy, and they weren't able to think for themselves. They were following the crowd. They were following what they were being told to think and told to believe and told to accept. And when they did that, immediately they were calling for Barabbas. And then what did they do after that? They called crucify, right? And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, what a horrible choice that those people made. Isn't that just awful? And then it hit me. Wait a minute. What's the difference in us today following after just what the crowd says, what's popular? And keep in mind, these were religious leaders that were calling for this. Okay? Yeah. So I thought, you know what? This just hits home with us, that we have to be careful, because we could be the ones choosing Barabbas, in a figurative way, of course. But if we can make that same choice to not follow the Lord, but follow people, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yep. 2022, you still have the same choice that they had back then.
Right.
You're either going to choose Jesus, or if you don't, you only have one other choice. You're choosing Barabbas.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what the song says. And I'm telling you, I'm thinking about sending that out at the first of the year. It'll go into the Easter season, because I want that message to land on the hearts of people, because, at that time of the year, thoughts may, they'll be more open to those kind of thoughts, that kind of thing. And so I'm thinking about maybe in January sending it out and having it, kind of be peaking around the Easter time. And so anyway, we'll see about that. But man, what a song! So Rebecca, you tell me. I want to play one of the two, and which one do you want me to play?
Oh.
I mean, you gave birth to these, so they're your kids. Which kid do you want me to take out first?
Okay, well, since that one's single, let's go with that one.
Go with Barabbas?
Yeah, let's do that one first, since we're going to be singling that one.
Okay.
Good.
All right. I'll do that. Well, it's something else about Rebecca. I think I don't know how many times I've done this, 2, maybe 3 times. I will send her something that has happened, or I've got a line, or I said one thing that happened was I had an uncle that was dying, and my aunt was telling me he was dying, and I said, you know what, we're gonna be sad for now, but not for long, and that's stuck in my spiritual filter. And when it did, I said, there's one person I trust with that line, and I sent it to Rebecca, and she wrote it and sent it to me like the next day or two the next day. What a talent, Rebecca.
Yeah. And Rebecca has, if anybody knows me and knows, I've recorded several of her songs through the years, but she is absolutely my favorite writer. I mean, and before I even got to even have the privilege of singing and recording some of her songs, but I've always loved the writings and the way she comes about that. And it's just always, Rebecca, it's always an honor to be able to do that and to sing your songs. It's just incredible. So,
oh, wow. That means a ton to me. I really appreciate that so much.
You're welcome.
Wow, what a compliment. And to hear you sing the songs. You know what? We could write them all day long, but if nobody sang them, then nobody'd hear them. Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, thank you to you.
You're welcome.
Well, Rebecca, thank you, and keep it up. And in this year where we lost Kyla Rowland, Diane Wilkinson, and James Easter, I'm telling you, my spirit grieves. I'm just telling you the way it is.
Right.
Not only do I grieve because of losing friends, but my spirit grieves because of the quality of spiritual depth in their writing that went to the grave when they went to the grave.
Right.
But there's a few out there yet, very few, I think, for my 2 cents. But Rebecca Peck is on the top heap of the ladder.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Means the world.
Well, tell Tom I said hello. God bless you all, and I'll let you get back to your night, Miss Rebecca.
Right.
Thank you.
I appreciate this so much. Love your music, guys. Keep up.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a good evening.
All right. So, fellas, who wants to hear Barabbas? What do you think? Should I do it?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This is one of my favorites from the project.
Yeah.
I've listened to this over and over and over and over again. I love it.
And folks, like I said a while ago, it's true. It may be 2022, but the same thing, the same question and the same choice from over 2,000 years ago is the choice that you and Terry and Jerry and Tim and you and me, we are making today.
Right.
We are either going to choose this or we're going to choose Barabbas. Who are you going to choose tonight? Choosing Barabbas, Real Southern Gospel Quartet here on Live with Les.
Before Pilate, the Savior was led, accused by the chief priest who called for his death. Though Pilate found no fault, the priest worked their plan for the crowd to cast guilt on an innocent man. A thief named Barabbas was locked up in chains. The custom said a prisoner could be doomed in exchange. The people heard Pilate call for their choice. Give us Barabbas, they cried with one voice. If you go with the crowd, doing what they do, and let lack of conviction get the better of you, your heart will grow foolish. And friend, when that happens, instead of Jesus, you'll be choosing Barabbas. We all face the moments when the pressure is strong. To heed when the world says, all right, what is wrong? But the solemn reminder echoes through time. Those who call for Barabbas will cry, crucify. If you go with the crowd, doing what they do, and let lack of conviction get the better of you, your heart will grow foolish. And friend, when that happens, instead of Jesus, you'll be choosing Barabbas. If you go with the crowd, doing what they do, and let lack of conviction get the better of you, your heart will grow foolish. And friend, when that happens, instead of Jesus, you'll be choosing Barabbas. Instead of Jesus, you'll be choosing Barabbas. Choosing Barabbas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hit.
Wow. Honestly, there's very few songs that just leave me speechless.
Yeah.
That renders me useless.
What a message.
Well, I tell you, when you set the demo down on that one, Les, I had to listen to it over and over again. And if you'll remember, you sent the track over to Jerry, and in his studio, he put down, and that was just a glimpse of what it just turned out to be right there. It's just, man,
Great job,
like I said,
Jerry.
I've listened over and over and over again. I love it.
Yeah, Jerry, you knocked it out, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a great song.
Terry, it's tough to sing for a baritone in a minor key, singing that flatted third.
You had to really coach me, if you remember. Thank God for Les Butler that day. You and your son Matt.
Oh yeah.
I'm singing this right. You know, I'm going.
I bet you I said.
Right.
I bet you I said 1,000 times that night. Down a third. Down a third.
Yeah.
Down a third.
I thought I did, but I wasn't. I wasn't making the trip, brother.
Hey, did we have fun doing the record?
It was so much fun.
You know, we done the scratch vocal tracks, if you remember, Les, and you were doing the baritone and bass part, and I had the honor and privilege of being Jerry Martin on the scratch vocals.
I didn't realize you could sing so high.
Yeah. Please do not let those get out of your office. It was awful.
Well, here's the deal, Tim.
He does have a broad range, doesn't he?
You never leave this group. I have blackmail.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. So I tell you what, fellas, I've never asked you all this since the record has been done, and there's no right or wrong answer. But I'll tell you what, I'll start with Tim. What's your favorite song on the record?
The song called Gideon's God.
Okay.
I really,
great
Jerry,
song.
that's another Jerry Martin song. And, you know, Jerry sings those ballads just like Choosing Barabbas, but man, he hauled off and laid it down on Gideon's God. It's just, I guess, and, you know, you could just go down all the 11 songs, and I love all of them, but I guess that's one that when I play what we've done for a couple of folks, I've let them hear Gideon's God, and you know, boy, they're taking back. That's my favorite. But now,
okay,
you said there's no right or wrong answer, so you guys, y'all weigh in on it.
Jerry, what do you think? What's your favorite?
That's tough because it's loaded with great songs. But yeah, just like Tim said, you can go down the list and just pick one. But that's what I do as well, and not because of me singing the song, but I go back to that Gideon's God for some reason. I love that, and I don't get to sing too many of those kind of burner songs. You know, I was here's your ballad, you know, and that's fine, you know. But it was a lot of fun to actually do this. Another Rebecca and a Diane song as well. You know, that was wow. I always call them the dynamic duo. When you got those two ladies together, shoot, what a song.
I forgot about that. Hey, Rebecca, hold on a minute. Rebecca, you still there?
I didn't want to say anything, Les, but when I heard them say that, I went, how come I haven't heard that song?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just like Christmas.
He's leaving you out again, isn't he?
I'm gonna have to send it to you when the show's over with. You're gonna love it. You've just heard half the quartet, and they both said their favorite is Gideon's God, and so it's really great, Rebecca.
I can't wait to hear it.
I will say this, and I'm not saying it because these two guys said it. In my office, I let the guys hear some of the material, not all of it, but Gideon's God was one, and of course, A Different Way, and I love both of those, but. And here's what they said, not knowing who wrote it. First, they heard the track. You know, you sent the track in. And then they heard it with the vocals. They said, man, that's a great song. That could be a single. That could be a hit song. So, you know, you kind of, I leave it up to the audience. I always have, you know, what does the audience say about the song? You know, I can give my opinion. And my opinion is, yes, I love the song. But what does the listening audience think? And two people back to back I love that song. Man, I want that track. That's a great song,
Yeah.
So, great song. And I like that convention type stuff. I've always done straight ahead Southern Gospel Quartet stuff, but it seems so refreshing to do some of that type of stuff. I'm like Duane Allen. I remember the days when the choirs would get together and the church groups would get together and they would sing that type. And I love doing that too. So there's such a variety on there, but it's all Southern gospel. And that's what we are.
And I'm telling you, I have no favorites because I've been working on this thing, fellas, for about 6 months longer than you have. And I chose all the materials. So they're all my babies and I love them all. And I don't know what I'm going to do when it comes to the radio singles because we got 11 songs on the album and I think we got 12 singles. Now I'll let you all do the
hard to pick a favorite when you got songs that great.
Yeah.
Well,
Rebecca, I tell you what, before I let you go yet for a second time, you did it so well the first time. Pitch our music for us. Pitch the CDs. Go ahead.
You will be missing out on the biggest blessing if you do not buy this project from the Real Southern Gospel Quartet. Download it, buy the CD, call your DJs and request every song on the record.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to put you on the payroll talking like that.
We're gonna have to take our entire family out, buy them all the biggest steak they want.
Yeah. Hey, next time we're in Nashville, we ought to do that because they don't live too far away from us. Rebecca, you and Tom, would you all go with us?
I would.
Yeah.
We could go to Demas's.
Oh, every head bowed, every eye closed.
Yeah.
Ready to go right now. All right, Miss Rebecca, thank you. You can now be gone for the second time. Rebecca,
please come back.
Okay, fellas, I'll tell you what, before we call it a day, we've got a bunch of folks that's been saying some stuff. So what do you say? I just read through some of these things, and some of them may be for you. I don't know. Let me see. I'll start right. Okay, we talked about John Herndon, the writer. There's Mike Brown, John Pope. Let me see. Heather, Hank. Okay, Hank is playing our music. We already said that on his radio station already. That's wonderful.
Great.
Dylan Fizel, who was one of the writers of one of the songs on our album that we played tonight, said Duane Allen supports the Texas Southern Gospel School of Music. And that is a convention style of music. Duane is a supporter of that. What about that?
That's great.
Very cool. Thank you, John Hammond. It says nice tie. I don't have a tie on, John. Oh, that's funny. Let me see. Mary Catherine Edgil Mills. Bless my daddy learning to hold that phone now. We had a good time with your daddy. He's a treasure. I love him. I love him.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Barb Wise, Patty Graham. Great song, great sound, fellas. Debbie Gebhardt. Been a while since I heard this one. Let me see. Peggy Hill Martin. Hello, Brother Les. Let me see what else we got here. We got some people with some praise hands up. So something we played, bless them. I like it like that.
Amen.
Mike Smith says God moves in mysterious ways. And boy, he does that. I'll have to agree with that. Linda Reinhardt. From North Carolina. She's saying hello to Ila Knight. Boy, we had a good time with Ila. Isn't she a pistol?
Yes.
She gave me some maters once. It was good stuff. Mike Smith says Real Southern Gospel Music Convention Song. Now, you all know Mike. You probably see him do his show on social media, on Facebook. And he goes back and he plays the 50s and 60s vinyl stuff. And and by the way,
great job.
He's a great bass singer. Can we agree on that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my. A great bass singer. So he knows this kind of stuff. So if he's giving us a thumbs up, we're doing good.
Good.
We're doing good. Daryl Sheely says, when the Lord saved me, it don't get no realer than this. He says, realer.
Agreed.
And Rick Overton, I did not know folks sang like this anymore. Now, see?
That's what we're looking for.
That's what I'm looking for right there.
Yes.
That's why I started this Real Southern Gospel Radio Network.
That's rewarding.
People still do sing like that with excellence. It's just that you don't hear it that often anymore.
Yeah.
Brother Les has built something where they can go and hear it by
I
Joy.
believe we're going to see a turnaround. I'm just saying.
I hope so. And by the way, and I always have to say this because I don't want to get anybody mad. Nothing wrong with the today's Southern gospel music stuff. My company produces that kind of stuff too.
Right.
So it's not a me and them against them, all that. It's just that I've built one radio station in the world that's dedicated to this kind of stuff.
Right.
There's 10,000 other things where they can hear the great gospel music of today. I'm telling you, just one. That if you want to hear convention stuff, come over. I'm playing it all the time. So Rick Overton, I love that comment. Thank you for that. Nathan Lane, I love that song, Ila Knight. Now, Nathan Lane is that's the other guy that writes nothing but convention music. He's good fellas. And if we do a second album, somehow or another, we got to find a Nathan Lane tune and put it on there.
Sounds good.
He is great. Let me see. Mike Mitchell says, great sound, guys. I would love to hear Tim sing Preacher and the Bear. And then he's laughing. So I don't know what that's all about.
Well, Mike and I worked together back in the early 80s. And there's a gentleman in our group by the name of Bruce Thornhill. And Bruce was a songwriter. If you remember the song Living on Higher Ground by the Inspirations, Bruce wrote that song. And he wrote some songs from the Florida Voice, Kingsman, Dixie Echoes, just a lot of them. Well, Bruce was in our group, and he done Preacher and the Bear, the old Jerry Reed song. About the guy going out on Sunday morning, and, he was a preacher, and he went out on Sunday morning, ran into a bear. And it was, we had a lot of fun with that, but good to hear from Mike, but you won't hear Preacher and the Bear from me. That's for sure.
Good. Dana and Willie say Rebecca and Tom are wonderful people loaded with goodness and talent. Can we say amen to that?
Yes, amen.
Yes.
Daryl Sheely says George Jr. Shelton and his dear wife were at our church this past Sunday evening. Well, what about that?
Great.
Megan Edgeworth. Hey, gang. Hey to Miss Megan. And
sweet girl.
What else we got? Patty Graham saying powerful lyric. I think she's liking Barabbas. Rebecca said, great job on those flatted thirds. Well done, Terry. She's giving you a big thumbs up there.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Les.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, I didn't sing the thirds.
No,
you sing the thirds, but I flatted plenty of them. That's for sure.
Daryl says release all 11 and call it a medley. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not a 35-minute medley. Okay. Heather said, okay, I'm with you, Brother John. Heather said you had a tie-on with the Oak Ridge Boys. And it was one of those wild, crazy 90s ties. And so he's poking fun at me. He's jabbing at me. That's okay.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, at 1 o'clock. And then we were singing Oak Ridge Boys songs at 2:30 and 3. I'd lost my mind. I couldn't do that anymore. I'm too old for carrying on. Let's see. What else? Barry Scott. Do you all know Barry Scott?
Yeah, great singer.
Great singer.
He is a singing machine.
Great
Doyle
guy,
Lawson. One of my favorite Doyle Lawson lineups was with Barry Scott.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I agree. And he used to sing with the Perrys, and he shucked the corn with the Perrys too.
He did.
Sure
Absolutely
did.
did.
Yes.
You know, and Tim, I thought you were very unique in that you were a quartet lead singer, and then you went in to be a bluegrass lead singer and did that with excellence. And I forgot that Barry Scott did the same thing. He started in Southern gospel professionally and went over to Doyle and just killed it in the bluegrass area.
Oh, he's a great singer. Tim Surratt's another one that sang Southern gospel for a long time, but he's had Balsam Range now for 15 years, and
those guys are killing it.
They're outstanding bluegrass. So yes, there's a load of talent out there in bluegrass music.
Yeah. I just listen to this. This is from Hank Edwards. He owns a radio station. He's playing our single. And listen to what he had to say. And Hank, man, I thank you for this. He said, I own my own station, but I find myself tuned into less. That station is special. No one can copy it. God's hand is on it.
Hey, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Praise the Lord.
Wow.
What a compliment.
Hank, man, thank you, sir. I'm honored to hear that from you. Bless you. Well, fellas, I think we played, 4 songs, something like that, 4 or 5, and an 11-song project, and you all knocked it out of the park. Terry, you're one of the finest baritones going today, and for that matter, over the past 50 years, and I mean that. Jerry, I don't even have one from you. And let me tell you, most people in Southern Gospel probably know Terry pretty much. They know Jerry for sure, all those years with the Kingdom Air, singing 4 and 5 times a day in Dollywood, all that. The whole world knows him. But a lot of folks may not know Tim Mays. And gentlemen, can we just agree that
I'm a fan.
Singer?
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's just been it was a privilege and an honor to stand with you guys and record. And it's kind of an unusual situation when you walk in and record with people that you don't really know.
Right.
And, but I have been a great admirer of y'all's work for a long time. And when Les asked me to come on board, it just felt right. I didn't have to think about it too long. It came along at a great time in my life, and I won't go into all of that. But it just come along when I needed something to come along. So I appreciate it. And I feel like you guys, there's always been a camaraderie with people that you sing with. Mm-hmm. And even though we don't travel and we sing week in and week out, like we all have done in times past, I really consider y'all my friends and my Christian brothers.
Same here, brother.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the bass singer that, he's
Darren just did a great job.
What a singer. Yeah.
And everybody that's commented tonight, they've always said something about the bass singer, and he's not around here.
Yeah. I wish they hadn't done that. I'm going to have to deal with that. Well, fella,
I've had some musicians say, if y'all ever do any dates, I'm talking about every instrument you can imagine. I want to be a part of that. I said, well, you'll not play the piano because Les is our keyboard player. You won't play bass because his son's our bass player. So
yeah.
That's and the way it's going to have to be.
To that end, let me repeat that we're not a touring group.
Right.
And that you all have your own groups, and that's all intact, and ain't nothing going to happen with any of that. But I will say this. I did have somebody contact us, a promoter that wants us to go sing. So y'all just think about all that.
I just thought about it. Let's do it. I would just love to sing with y'all again.
Let's at least pray about it. Okay, let's do it. No. So anyway, we'll cross that bridge if we have to get to it. But we're not touring, and it would be. If we could do 2 or 3 dates in a year somewhere for special things, that would probably be fun, and y'all might want to do something like that. But we're not a touring group. But so to that end, if you want to hear this kind of quartet singing from this group called the Real Southern Gospel Quartet, let me remind you, you can go now and get a pre-order of the CD, pre-order of the thumb drive. There's a package deal for both. Take one for yourself and give someone to introduce them to real Southern gospel music and give them that other piece. That would be great. So you can go to familymusicgroup.com right now or realsoutherngospel.com. They're in the store, both locations, and it should be out, fellas. If I get the master back by Tuesday morning before noon, we will have product at the National Quartet Convention.
That's wonderful.
So we're right down to the.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And I will get down, and I'll get back with you guys if you can, we may be getting together Thursday over at the convention with all of you. And Terry, I know you may not be able to make it, and I understand that that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to try to firm up a couple of things, and I may get a hold of you, and we may try to meet there Thursday in Pigeon Forge. Okay.
All right.
Did we get in free?
I'll work on that there, brother. I'll work on that.
Les can get it done.
We know a guy.
All right, fellas. Have a good night. I'm going to let you tell. All right? Jerry, goodbye. Terry,
love y'all.
goodbye. Tim, goodbye. And here we are. So I hope you've enjoyed the Real Southern Gospel Quartet. Got to hear a few tunes. Been working on it for months. I've been working on it for about a year and a half. And it's done. And we'll have product here in a couple of weeks. And it is just traditional, straight ahead, real Southern gospel music. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay. And oh, by the way, I wanted to say this. Rusty Taylor from Maryville, Tennessee. Rusty Taylor evidently went online and somehow stumbled upon the new music that we're doing. And he is the first person in the world to buy our CD for the Real Southern Gospel Quartet. So Rusty Taylor, I don't know if you're watching, but I salute you and thank you for that. I wrote your name down when I saw that come through on my computer in my inbox in the email. So thank you for that. All right. That's it. What do you say we call tonight? God bless you all. Hey, if you enjoyed it, would you be kind enough to hit the share button and let other people hear this great, real, traditional Southern quartet gospel music? Would you do that? Would appreciate it. God bless you. Y'all have a good night. And Lord willing, we will see you the next time.